that throughout 2022, I have been consciously practicing mindfulness-based stress reduction. I've been learning about it, and I've been putting mindfulness-based practices more consciously into my life. So, as I really have begun to understand what mindfulness based practices are, I realize that how much they enhance the human design experiment. As you know, if you got your human design chart and you've been looking online to figure it out and put it together and live your life according to it and all of that stuff, you know that there's a whole lot of chatter up here. It's a mental system of understanding what energies your presence brings out into the world and is here to work with or here to interact with. And along with, the whole trying to figure it out and putting it into practice part of human design, there's the encouragement through the human design system that Ra Uru Hu created to experiment with your design via strategy and authority. Now, here's what typically happens when you're new to human design, especially if you haven't been doing mindfulness practices or self-development work for a while, but you know that something's out of alignment and you stumble upon this whole human design body graph and the strategy and authority. First, there's usually relief that you have gotten confirmation for how you know deep inside that you are created to operate. And then what tends to happen as you go down the mental rabbit hole of figuring out your chart, understanding your not self theme, and what you're doing with your strategy or how you're not using your strategy, what your authority is about, and how you might have not been listening to your authority because you didn't know. What typically happens is it brings up and it triggers. Sometimes if you have this within you, and most of us do because we live in this kind of an environment on planet Earth, it brings up shame, it brings up guilt, it brings up a sense of unworthiness, and it brings up all of that conditioning that the mental aspect of us can take and weaponize against us. And ultimately, if you work through that, if you continue to have patience with your human design experiment, that shame and guilt and unworthiness tends to move out of the way so that you can emerge as this being that you have always been meant to be. However, and what happens with that, let me say this first. What happens with that is this sense of radical acceptance. And this is a term that Tara Brach uses. She's a leader in the mindfulness meditation movement. She even has a book about it and a video that I will link so that you can watch it. She talks about radical acceptance. And that is the one thing that my human design experiment has taken me, the place where it has taken me, is to this place of acceptance, true acceptance of me, who I am, how I've operated, whether it's in alignment or not with what's on my human design chart, with the highest version of what my potential is on my human design chart. Whether I've been living it or not, it has taken me to this place where I can truly see and accept that I am who I am, and I am perfect in my potential of expression. I am who I am. I'm in the perfect place for the decisions and the choices I've made up to this point. And I may make different decisions because I know more now about myself. And that will bring through more of this experience of perfection, in a sense. But what, good, bad, or ugly, I have come to a place of accepting who I am, even when my mind is chattering away about how I'm not good enough, or I should be ashamed of myself for this, or I need to feel guilty about that. I can accept it all because I can see what I'm about and what it's about. However, or on the flip side of that, what I have discovered is I've been practicing these mindfulness techniques, especially this year. I've practiced them in bits and pieces for a long time because I'm an avid, however inconsistent, meditator. And and I've been on this path for a long time. But as I've consistently practiced, as much as I can consistently do, these mindfulness techniques, I've noticed that I'm able to come to an even deeper sense of acceptance of what is in my life. A more radical sense of acceptance of myself and other people. So for me, the two go hand in hand. The human design chart and my human design experiment have enabled me to become more accepting of myself and others, because I can see how we operate mechanically. And then when I have been in these places of mindfulness, I have been able to see how I can deepen my acceptance. And my human design chart, understanding my human design chart, enables me to see that in detail of what I am here to accept. So it's a beautiful symbiotic relationship. So whether you're practicing mindfulness or you're practicing your human design experiment, or both, they tend to work together and enhance each other. They're tools to enhance you being you, accepting who you are, accepting the world and other people as they are, to move into a place of compassion and loving kindness, which is a mindfulness framework, a mindfulness-based framework. However, it's also a human framework as well. So I'd love to know, do you practice mindfulness, mindful-based stress reduction, or mindful meditation? Or do you practice your human design experiment? And how have they, if you practice both, how have they enhanced each other in your life? All right, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, like it. If you know someone who can benefit, please share it. And if you want more videos, please subscribe and hit that little bell button so that you're notified when new videos are uploaded. And thanks again. Until the next time, be well.